Hey, what's up, Canada? Welcome to a surprise little video. Most of you guys weren't expecting me to come on tonight. A few were. How do you guys love that intro? In retrospect, it seems almost a little bit of a signal that in our new intro, in our Canadian Pride, that the tragedy that's happened this week with their beloved snowbirds has really kind of crashed and burned Operation Inspiration for Mr. Trudeau. Tragic, unavoidable. Some of you guys were expecting this tonight. I've been really busy today, so if anybody feels like I've ghosted on them, that's not the case. I have literally been talking to people all over the world today. God bless you and thank you all for your kind words and support and birthday wishes today. It's been absolutely phenomenal. The fundraiser that we did in memory of Stan Burcham has doubled what we had hoped to do. So again, bless you all and thank you so much. Today is a special day for me. I've been working on something really, really hard for a little while, and I've had some help, and we've been talking about some things for a little while. Canada's got a big day coming up, and it's our birthday. It's Canada's birthday, right? And this has been on my mind a lot, especially since Mr. Trudeau announced that he was canceling Canada Day, and we were going to have a virtual Canada Day this year. Well, that didn't sit right with me. I know it didn't sit right with a lot of other Canadians.
Didn't sit right with me.
Didn't sit right with anybody that loves this country and everything that it stands for and what our previous generations have fought and died for and are still paying the price for, and it's being taken away from us. Our right to self-determination is being taken away from us. And we have been very lost as to what to do. We all know it's broken, but we don't have an idea. We've got all kinds of ideas, but we don't have a cohesive idea to move forward on. I've known some of the snowbird pilots over the years, and this really, anytime anybody's lost, it's a tragedy. These people do what they do for love for our country, to give back to our country, and when it costs them because of the ineptitude and the greed and the corruption within our government, this is a tragedy. My heart goes out to the friends and family and the people of the community. Everybody that's being affected by this. This is horrible and should be unacceptable. It's in watching the news broadcasts today, I'm a little bit ashamed again of our mainstream media and how they portray this. Oh, these planes are 60 years old and they were scheduled for replacement. Yeah, well, they were scheduled for replacement a long time ago. And what they're not telling you in the mainstream news is that Trudeau canceled the money for the replacement planes. So this one is on him. And this is just another example of everything this man touches is destroyed, and we have to save whatever we have left for our our sovereignty, and this has to come from our hearts, right? I'm just giving people a few minutes to get on here, and we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of this. I did do this for a reason tonight. I promised some help, a compilation of ideas of the voices and the concerns that I've been receiving across Canada over the past year, and everybody is suffering, and we all know we're suffering, and it's time to find something that we can do to take it back, to stop it, to put a hard stop on what's happening. I'm not providing long-term solutions or ideas for it. Canadians can decide what our future self-determination is. I fully believe that. I fully believe in my heart and my soul that if Canadians were actually at the controls of Canada, making decisions with Canadian interests in mind, we would have a much different future moving forward for our future generations. But with the people that we have at the controls right now, there is no future for Canada. The terms post-national state ring loudly through my ears every night. Do we understand now what he means by a post-nation state of the United Nations? This should be clear to everybody, whether we agree on the little things or not. This should be abundantly clear. And for the old talk Canadians that might disagree, it's too bad. We will be replaced. This should be ringing loud and clear to all of us. And we have fractured groups, divided people from coast to coast, thousands of different ideas of how, what, where, when we need to do this to fix things. And we're getting further and further away from actually fixing anything because we can't stop the merry-go-round. We need to stop the merry-go-round first before we can take a look at anything and fix it as Canadians. And we're only going to be able to fix it as Canadians if we eliminate all of the undue foreign influence and corrupt influence and the crime syndicates that have taken over our nation. We have to stop that. We have to stop this corporation of Canada. And after much digging and looking, the tools to do this, and I've talked about this a little bit in the past, are there within our grasp. All we have to do is exert enough force to turn the wheels of laws and rules that are beyond jurisdictions that we're familiar with. And this is the crux of what we're here for today. It's clear and simple. When we look at other nations that have evaded the clutches of this United Nations cabal, and it is absolutely a cabal that is taking over and overwhelming and delivering communism to every corner of this country. And no matter what your political stripe is right now, no matter what your past history, your ethnicity, your race, color, creed, none of it's going to matter when they're done. And they're going to achieve that before your 10-year-olds are able to vote if we don't put a hard stop on this. And the answers are in front of us. All we have to do is grasp them. And it's going to take a lot of us to do this, but it's not going to take everybody. Now, there's a lot of talk about different events and different things going on, but July 1st is the consensus that this is the day that we're going to stand up for Canada. Well, cool. Let's do this on July 1st. I'm not organizing anything. I don't know where hotels are. I don't know where washrooms or food or anything like that is. I am going on heart and faith and community. We will stand together starting on July 1st. And the idea is that we are not going away until what we need as Canadians are met. Now, this is where things get a little interesting. We have got groups from all over the country with all different sizes and volumes of ideas of what these needs are to be. I don't know what they all are. Nobody does, because we don't communicate, and we haven't been communicating. We're in our own little tribal patterns where we have our own little groups and we're threatened by everybody else. I'm not doing anything here to threaten anybody else's groups or ideas or concepts or what they are doing. That's not what this is about. What I have done, though, is I have put together some of the things that I've unanimously heard, and I've had some help to put it into a word format that gives us the ability in advance, right now, starting tonight, to affect change by drawing a line in the sand. We're not griping, we are telling now. They work for us, we don't slave to them any longer. So, in just a minute here, Master Derek, who is at the helm of Starship What's Up Canada, as usual tonight, he's here to make sure that I don't screw this up. Now, he's going to pull up a document here in a second, and I'm going to read it through. And the reason I'm going to read it through is because it is going to show up in subtitles when this video goes up. We will provide links to this document that we believe will help inspire and unite and connect a collective force of energy in the right direction. Okay? We need to avoid violence at all costs. They are expecting this. They are expecting us, but they are also expecting us to fall for the bait to give them violence so they can suppress us. We cannot allow that to happen. So we have to beat them with words at their own game ahead of time. And we can do this. When we provide this information, we will also provide all of the email addresses you will need to put this into action to get this to your elected representatives. And when you hear back from them, you will know clear as day. There will be no guessing which side of history they are standing on. Are they going to go down with the globalist ship, or will they represent the will of the people that gave them the positions that they hold in trust for us? No violence. This is words. So I'm going to bring this document up here and I'm going to read it, and then we'll provide you access to it. We're not going to be on here a long time afterwards. There's going to be much discussion, but you guys will see a path forward that hopefully we can come together on collectively with our energy, not to submit to anybody else or anything, but to stand with a united demand when we repossess what is rightfully ours across Canada, all 10 seats of power in every province and the Capitol Hill. You guys own this. You guys own this, and it is being pirated away from you. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring up what we have just come together as a notice of declaration. So, listening to the people, this is not a contract, this is not an official document, but this is something that is significant enough that it will get attention, and it is written in a language for the common people to understand and to make it clear as day to the elected officials where they are going to stand with this. Now, notice of declaration, French version coming soon. We are not doing anything except inviting the French to stand with us as well. I just don't speak French. I couldn't write this in French, but here we have the English version. We will get it to the people in French. We, the citizens of Canada, a sovereign nation, are governed by a political party espousing a political ideology of its own. We recognized and assert said party's authority arises only from the citizens of Canada, and not from persons or entities external to our country who have no vested interest in the preservation of Canada and may not hold the same political, ideological, ethical, moral, or philosophical views as Canadians as set out in the British North American Act 1867. While we recognize that all persons, home and abroad, have individual rights, we assert they also have individual responsibilities in accordance with natural law. We, the citizens of Canada, will no longer surrender our natural, fundamental, and acquired rights under laws duly enacted under the authority of the citizens of Canada to the will of an unelected global authority. Our right of sovereignty is non-negotiable, even by a duly elected leader of a sitting government within our borders. Under the UDHR Articles 2 and 7, we release the sovereign nation of Canada and its rightful citizens from all binding and non-binding agreements. They do not comply with our sovereign, national, or human rights. Whereas Canada is founded upon the following principles: supremacy of God, equality of individual right and individual responsibility, the right to work towards individual goals, promoting health, liberty, and happiness of ourselves and our fellow citizens. Our fellow citizens. We recognize the limits of our abilities and resources to accommodate the demands of the world and do not consent to the depletion of our resources within our consent to others without our consent to others outside of our borders, such that we, the rightful owners of said resources, are placed in a negligible or vulnerable position. The form of government to preside in Canada is that of a free market democracy wherein all are considered equal and having the same rights and responsibilities. While individual rights are fundamental, so too are individual responsibilities for oneself. The rule of law will prevail in the case of conflict between rights and responsibilities, said law having been duly enacted by a legitimate government representative of the people, elected in accordance with the Westminster parliamentary system. Power and authority of any sitting government is derived from the people. Government may be recalled at the request of the people, and impeachment of any party leader or member may occur by petition of the people said member represents. In the case of a party leader, said leader may be recalled by members of their party at the discretion of party members at any time. An appearance of conflict of interest shall be deemed a conflict of interest, whether or not it is in actuality a conflict, requiring any member of parliament to step down forthwith. No politician is protected by their office against criminal charges of any kind and shall be held accountable for their actions in accordance with governing law, perhaps at twice the penalty, as they were in a position of public trust at the time. Forthwith, we, the citizens and people of Canada, will no longer surrender our natural, fundamental, acquired, and God-given rights to the sitting government of Canada. No longer do we, the citizens, people, and permanent residents of Canada, grant them authority over us. Its authority is hereby revoked. Canadians are the rightful owners and shareholders of Canada and require the following from their government in a timely fashion: an independent and fully transparent investigatory tribunal into the criminal activities of all United Nations policies and representatives, political representatives, banking systems, alleged corporate crimes, NGOs, and any so-called non-binding agreements related hereto. An immediate halt to any and all illegal and or pay-to-play migration and immigration, a moratorium on all international banking agreements, as well as a full, transparent, and comprehensive investigation of the same, an immediate end to foreign austerity measures, implementation of Canadian citizen-initiated referendums for all issues affecting national Canadian issues under the purview of the federal government, as per the British North American Act 1867, such as transportation, taxation, monetary policies, interprovincial transfers, foreign investment, and foreign aid. An immediate moratorium on blood oil, subject to tribunal investigations. An immediate moratorium on foreign infrastructure investment, instead focusing on Canadian infrastructure improvement. Immediate investigation into Huawei 5G dangers and hazards, both long-term and short-term, as well as personal security and safety therefrom, with complete transparency and a full report made to the public in a timely manner. In the event the UN is uncooperative with respect to investigation of the aforementioned areas of concern, we, the citizens of the sovereign nation of Canada, further demand Canada withdraw from the United Nations, and all funds paid for future membership or benefits shall be requested to be returned to the sovereign nation of Canada by the United Nations forthwith. In the event the United Nations refuses to return funds already received from the sovereign nation of Canada for future fees, gifts, and donations, a full investigation and examination of the monetary practices of the United Nations in the World Court is requested. Upon reading this, you are considered notified of the people's will. This is the moment in time where your opportunity to stand of the people's will or against it. No opportunity to plead ignorance of the will of the people will forthwith be accepted. Date and signature.
I'm bringing that to the Hill, and I'm signing it, and I'm holding it up. And that's what I'm going to the Hill with.
This is something that gets us an opportunity to come together on some serious points to stop this. This is sticking a stick into the front wheel of their bicycle. Right? Let's take them off of this bicycle. So this document and all of the corresponding email addresses that you guys are going to need just went up on a group page called What's Up, or pardon me, UN Exit Now.
I'll see if I can bring up my Facebook to get the link, or if you have it handy. Throw it up there for you guys. Sure. I think that's a legit document to go by, and I think most of us Canadians can stand with it. Even newcomers, the ones that escaped communism, that knows all about the United Nations, that knows the troubles that are coming our way if we don't stand up now.
This is available in PDF. Absolutely. We're just going to, through the process of, you guys are the first to hear or see this. This is here right now, went live tonight. This is a gift back to Canada on this. That's what this was all about. We're working hard on this today, the last several days, with some other contributors. We're going to provide PDF versions to this to anybody that wants it. Send us your email. If we've got it, we'll get it to you. Sign it, print it, take it to your protests, your rallies in between. This is not to upset anybody else. This is to empower everybody. It's a solid list of realistic demands that we can draw our line in the sand in. When you read through this a couple of times and you understand the magnitude of what the power that this contains within this, okay, guys, this is huge. This is the biggest thing ever that we've ever done. Is putting this together for you guys. And there's people that are going to have this. You're going to see a lot of this connecting with us on our platforms. You guys know how to find us. We are censored like crazy. They're not going to like this. The politicians, can you imagine what it's going to be like when every politician in the country by Friday is calling each other going, do you know how many I got today? Mm-hmm. Do you know how many I got today?
See, I think if we just brought that to the Hill on Canada Day, held those up, and whenever fake media comes up and asks us why we're there, you hold up that piece of paper, get them to read it.
This is what we want.
That's it. We're not going to yell at them. This is what we want. We're here for this. We're not leaving until this happens. And this is our chance for Iceland.
This is it, guys. This is how we can do this. It's putting it all together. This is how we stop it and how we fix it. And this is Canadians get to decide. All right, guys? So my phone's blowing up. My pages are blowing up. Derek's going to be blowing up.
Yeah.
Bear with us the next day or two, guys. We're going to be getting this out to everybody that we can. We'll be posting it on our pages.
Hashtag UN Exit Now. You can go there right now and get it.
Yep.
You can find that in groups. I'm trying to find it quick enough, but we want to cut
Just a
this
sec.
short.
No, that's okay. I can pull up a link here.
This is how we keep calm, collective together to unite. You know, if we just go to the Hill with just that piece of paper, we all sign our own piece of paper and say, we're here for this.
This is a.
You take our letters and you walk away, you know?
That is a group where we've got it posted just so that we could get it up right now. Okay, guys, this we only got this last version put together today. This was kind of came together, like I say, just today.
Is it live now?
Just pulling it up here.
But I'm very excited about that. We talked about this a little bit in Alberta, but the COVID came. We were going to do a little earlier, but since they said virtual Canada Day, nah, not for me.
Yeah, that's not acceptable to me.
This is our day. It's Canada's day. This is Canadians' day. It's Canada. It's everything Canada. Everything.
I'm trying to find it here. Bear with me for a second, guys. This is worth it. But regardless, we're going to get this out.
This was a huge joint effort. It wasn't just Wayne. It wasn't just me. It was a bunch of people. Everybody's ideas went into this ladder. This is our idea. So thank yourselves for this, for talking to us, for sending us messages, for being there, being a part of this. This is everybody. This is everybody.
Right. We listened. I put the ideas together. I gave it to people that could turn it into legalese type speak that made it as pretty as it was. And then somebody else came along and made it look absolutely beautiful. So this is kind of the process. This is what everybody has been asking for, guys. This is our power on one sheet of paper. You can print it. You can post it. You can share it. You can send it in private messenger. You can sign it and print it and put it in a frame in your wall. I'm actually thinking about blowing up a poster to hang behind me of it. This is something that makes all of a sudden, guys, we don't sound like the dozers from Fraggle Rock anymore. When we're all screaming the same thing the same time and the same words, this is powerful and it's simple. Most of these other nations that didn't get involved in this, they got out with one sentence. One sentence. That's all we have to do is get our leaders to say one sentence to the United Nations. And if they will not or are not willing to do that, then we know who they stand for. Right? This is black and white, cut and dried. Put this in front of one, and that's why I put it at the bottom as well. If they read this, consider themselves notified, because this is simple. We will not live in a lawless nation.
So if you can't make it to the Hill, bring it to your closest parliament. You know, if go to legislator in Vancouver Island, go into Edmonton, go into Regina,
print flyers, drop it off.
Hang on to them and just show people. They have to ask you why you're sitting on the steps of Parliament and say, "Here, this is what I got."
I can't drop it into the live chat here, guys. Or I really, really wish I could.
We can add it after.
We will be posting it on our pages. Absolutely, it'll be up everywhere as soon as we're done this. Yeah, it won't let me drop it into the chat here. So what we'll do is we'll shut this down real quick, guys, and leave you guys with this. We'll get it up on the pages, our pages, Facebook pages. You'll see this in the next 5 minutes or so, and run with it. And if you want an email copy of it, so make sure we've got your email. If you know we've got your email and you want it there, let us know. Private message us. Let's make it known, guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for coming in and checking this out tonight, guys. This is something that, and this isn't a contract. Be aware, this isn't a contract. This is just a place to start. These are the things that before we can do anything, if we can agree on this, we've got a chance, right? Let Canadians make the decisions. Get all of these other money monkeys off of our backs. Let's get our freedom back.
Let's not be slaves anymore, guys. So
We're not born to be slaves.
I'm going to play that magical clip for you guys to end this video off to remind you where to be on July 1st. Love you guys.
Amen. This